This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ordias, to use this as an educational material.
Ancient philosophy from 600 BCE to 300 CE. It explores a foundational ideas about the self through thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, which focuses on the soul, reason, and virtue.
The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates believed that examining one's life reflecting on values, action, and purpose is essential for living meaningfully. Without self-reflection, life lacks direction and virtue. He stand that is that true happiness and wisdom come from understanding oneself, striving for moral excellence.
The soul is like a chariot with reason as the charioteer guiding emotions and desires. Plato believed that the self is the soul which has three parts: reason, spirit, and desire. He stood for the idea that the rational part of the soul must lead the others to achieve harmony and justice and will live life. For him, understanding the self is key to achieving truth and aligning the eternal forms.
Aristotle believed that the self is a soul and cannot exist without the body. He saw the soul as having three parts: vegetative, sensitive, and rational. His stance is that the rational part must guide the self to live a virtuous and fulfilling life.
Medieval philosophy from 5th to 15th century focused on the relationship between faith and reason, which thinkers like Saint Augustine exploring the self in relation to God and salvation.
Saint Augustine believed the self is worthless and incomplete without a connection to God. True peace and fulfillment for the self come from aligning with God's purpose.
You are not your thoughts, feelings, or experiences. You are the observer. Anthony de Mello believed that the true self is not defined by our thoughts, feelings, or experiences. Instead, the self is the observer of these things, and by recognizing this, we can achieve greater clarity and inner peace.
So now with modern philosophy from the 17th and 18th centuries redefine the self through thinkers like Descartes, Locke, and Jung, exploring ideas of consciousness, identity, and personal experience.
Descartes believed that the act of thinking proves his existence. I think before I am means if he's doubting or thinking, he must exist as a thinking.
Locke believed that personal identity is based on the continuity of consciousness. If a person's memories and experience are continuous over time, they remain the same person, regardless of changes in their body.
With that being said, David Hume believed that the self is not a fixed or permanent entity. So instead, it is just a collection of changing perceptions, thoughts, and feelings that come and go. So, with that, with no through constant self behind them.
Immanuel Kant, he says that the self is both the knower and organizer of experience. Kant believed that the self has two rules. As the knower, it perceives and experiences the world, and as an organizer, it structures and makes sense of those experiences used in categories like time and space. The self is active in shaping in how we understand reality.
Patricia Churchland believed that the self is not a separate entity but
a result of the brain's physical and chemical processes. Thoughts, emotions, and identity are all created by the brain's activity, making the self biological phenomenon.